Hey people, it's Kelly of Print for Slay, and as you can see, I'm here fussy cutting. So this is not a fussy cut video. This is just me sharing that I definitely had to fussy cut a whole bunch of elements inside of this Christmas journaling kit in order to prepare for my last Zoom with my patrons. So our last Zoom was last week, and we each used a different Christmas or winter related kit, and this is the one that I chose. This is my first kit that is in this type of style, like a whole bunch of realistic pictures, and I thought it was fitting for the Christmas season, seeing as though I'm missing all of this. Every picture that you're seeing here, I have none of that going on in my life currently. Like, there is no Christmas popcorn. We don't even have a Christmas tree. We're supposed to get one today. After this, our plan is to actually buy an artificial tree. I haven't had an artificial tree in years. I really, really like having a real Christmas tree. But it's been kind of, I guess, a hassle to go and buy one, hook it up to the back of the truck, lug it home, and all such. But I think, honestly, I think it's going to be the same type of hassle to have an artificial tree and bring it up the stairs. Maybe not. I don't know. But my house, my home, my city doesn't even look like this. Like, there is no snow. There has not been any chance of snow. It's actually been warm. Like, we've been eating lunch outside at school. That's how hot it is. Yesterday it was 60. We went and got ice cream yesterday. Like, it has been really, really warm. Not necessarily in the 80s or nothing like that. That would be some kind of tragedy, because it's definitely not the climate for it to be that hot. It shouldn't be that hot around here. But like, our Six Flags still open, people still getting on roller coasters and everything. It's kind of like fall. But I cut up all the elements. I love the realistic pictures because it's giving me all the vibes of Christmas that like I said, we really don't have here. We kind of get snow in January. So if you saw this now, I pulled out my prayer journal, the ones where I have all the seasons. So if you don't know, I have all the seasons in the shop. And the second to last one, because the last one is not a season, but the second to last journal that's in there is the Winter Prayer Slay Journal. And I made the journal in a way in which you will be able to add to it. So this is me adding to that winter journal. And so I don't know why, but I cut the pages shorter than all the other pages for this particular journal. It was in a Happy Planner by itself. So at the time it looked perfect, and then when I put it with all the other seasons, it looked a hot mess. But I wanted to keep that same energy. So the pages on it they're a little bit shorter, but that's okay. So I cut up some cardstock, punched some holes in it and things like that, just so it can go with the same vibe. The colors are still traditional, the golds, the greens, the blues, the browns, the yellows, just winter Christmas colors. I'm pulling out my gelatos, but I'm noticing that I probably won't use all of them because the kit has a lot of green, a lot of red, and a lot of blue. So I was like, maybe I'll tie in some gold. Eventually I do use the red. I guess I couldn't help myself. I really wasn't, looking back, I wasn't really feeling the gold like I wanted to. But it does add a little bit of mwah to the page. So I'm going here, and the first thing I laid down was the gold gelato, and then on a cold winter day I pray. I love opening up my journal in the winter and like sitting in front of the fire or sitting in my bed, to be honest, sometimes and journaling out my prayers. So that's where the thought for that particular sticker came from. My intentions are to layer some of the scenes, that's what I'm calling them, like some scenes, along with some of the art pieces. So I'm going to have completed a whole spread, which is 2 next to each other, and then 2 individual pages. So that's about 4 pages that I'm going to do in this one sitting. The piece of paper that you see with the words all over it is from my concordance. I will show you the concordance like really briefly. It's like a peekaboo moment. You got to catch it. So what I thought to do was take off like all of that margin that's there, so I can focus on the fact that there are words there. And I've said this before in other videos, especially in a collage video, that I felt really comfortable ripping up and tearing up and cutting up my concordance a little bit more than my Bible. It's just for me, my preference. So I was okay with that. I tried to do it with an old Bible. It wasn't working out for me. I couldn't find it. And then it just wasn't feeling good to rip it up. But I felt completely comfortable with this concordance. So it was. So I ripped that up. And then I go in and I layer these boxes. So the boxes with the dot lines around them are for journaling, of course. But I thought they would be something that would help people focus on what size your journaling spot could be. And I thought it just added something to the page. If you notice, sometimes I fussy cut with a outline around the picture, and sometimes it was like flush to the picture. And I thought that would add a little bit when I layer, and it did. I didn't really determine before layering which ones I was going to have a border on and which ones I was not going to have a border on, so that part could have been executed better. But I don't have a border on all of them, just on a selected few. And if you are wondering what size Happy Planner this is in comparison to the kit, this is a classic size Happy Planner, and the kit elements, I shrunk them down. It is very easy to do that. You can simply put your page into Word or Paint and shrink them that way. I think that, or Google Doc, anyone that is easier for you. And that's what I recommend if you are going to use it in a classic Happy Planner. The reason why, I've said this before, while I provide the big elements, is because it's really easy for someone to shrink something down, but really hard for someone who wants the elements to stay big. So I make them big, and then it's easier for you to shrink them down if you if you deem that necessary. So that is what I did. If you're wondering, like, how did she get all these elements on the page? I definitely shrunk them down. I was on with my patrons, and they were like, can you add some washi tape? I have not used washi tape in a long time, other than to really do a tip-in or a slight decoration. But like, some people go in with the washi tape, and I did have it at hand. Like, I had my red, I have some Christmas tree washi tape. I have a whole bunch of winter washi tape, and that is the only piece I used. Like I said, I couldn't help myself. I really wanted to tie in some red, so there it goes. I really think that it's kind of bold. It's so bold that I was asked if it was pink. Claudine said, "Is that pink, gelato?" And I said, "Oh no, it's red." So it's very, very bright. I didn't know how to mute the color. Once it was on there, but I knew I was layering it, like putting it behind something else, so I was perfectly fine with that. I am now trying to see what am I going to use as WordFetti, and I decided on the black study one because they had all the other colors there. So I put the Jesus WordFetti above and the study below. That little tip-in that I did with the popcorn, I was really excited when I made that tag. That tag was super cute to me, and I was like, I can't wait to use it. I am also feeling the art splatter of green. I decided on green. I thought it would be a nice, not muted color, but a nice, more neutral, not as bright color, just in case someone, got overwhelmed by having like bright red splatter. And I don't know, I tend to shy away from bright red splatter. It starts to kind of look a little, I don't like how bright it is, and the red is not really my jam. I try to get into red. I only use it around this time in Valentine's Day for the most part. So I was trying to use it. That little circle, it was just irking my nerves. I didn't know where to put the circle, and it was so hard to cut out a circle. If you have like a 1-inch circle punch, that would be the best thing. As a matter of fact, I have like a scallop one that I could have used on there to cut it out, and it wouldn't have been a circle anymore, but it would have been, something that I could have worked with. I just really didn't. I should have put it down before I put down the this scene sticker, and I didn't. So you'll see, it doesn't even, it gets real stubborn. Those photo corners, I wanted to make sure I used those because I know people were going to be like, oh, what am I supposed to do with this little square with the with the little block in it? And that is what you're supposed to do with it. You're supposed to put it in the corners of photos. That is from my scrapbooking days. I used to use those little photo corners to put my pictures in, and I thought they would be really nice since I'm using like real life type photos in this kit to add those. I had to play with this picture a lot to see which way I wanted it to go, horizontal, vertical. So I decided on horizontal, and I think that was a really good add. Excuse me. The other piece of paper that I'm ripping is not a piece of my concordance. It is from something that my friend Kimberly of His Palette gifted to me. And it's like old text, and I thought it was really nice to put there. So it's not really scripture based, it's just a nice old piece of paper that I really thought was neat. I know you saw me struggle with the corner of that page, and I just decided no. I'm flipping through my sticker books because while on, the patrons wanted to know where do I put the rest of it, because I'm not going to use, I hardly ever use all of the kit, so they wanted to know like, where do you put the other stuff? And I've actually showed it in some other past videos that I just made that sticker book. I once upon a time was selling them, but I really feel like it's something that you can do yourself, and it adds to it when you can do it yourself. So instead, actually no, I wasn't selling it. I gave 2 away. I made 2 and just gave them away. That's what it was, because I was like, I know people can do this on their own, and it would be really fun little project. It's basically a 4x6 album from like Michaels, and you just add a picture, a 4x6 photo to it. I have I'm reminiscing on this particular spread with the Christmas tree and photos, and presents, because I never got to use it. My family was supposed to come in town Christmas 2019, and they did their part, and then I forgot, and all the stuff that goes on Christmas, to give them my faith planner so they can sign it. I wanted them to write like their handwriting inside of it, and I forgot to pass it around, and that was the last time I saw my whole family for Christmas, because the whole coronavirus type situation happened, and it's still happening. So an idea that came about while we were on Zoom, thank you for this tip, ladies, was to have them mail me something that they wrote, or send me text messages, and I could print those text messages out. So I would think about those, or what idea I think came from it that I settled on was just being okay with the people who are actually still here. So that's my parents on both sides, my parents and my in-loves, my mother-in-law and my father-in-love, and my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. There's a lot of in-loves. Being fine with them signing it instead of like, the entire whole family. And that would be fine. Maybe they can put more in there, since they know good and well I'm not going to be able to fill the page with a whole bunch of other people's. So now I'm going in and doing my tip-ins, and I love tip-ins. Now these tip-ins are on sticker paper, so I may re-punch them on cardstock to make them a little bit more sturdy, or I can very well just write on the back of the sticker paper, because the back of my sticker paper for my white repositioning sticker paper is just white. It doesn't have like the Avery words on the back or anything like that. I have these scenes. Now these are the only scenes that's like pure or mostly white, brown, and blue, and I just felt like they didn't go with the vibe of the other pictures, which were more of a warm traditional color for Christmas, which is the red, the gold, and the green. So I'm trying to look through my faith planner to see where else could I put these scenes, and I really didn't settle on anything, because I wanted to go back to that other page that said jam and write the Christmas songs I like to listen to, and print out the pictures of the Christmas movies I like and put those in there. One day this will be filled in full. I think I started this in 2019. Yeah, 2019 was definitely first year. So I like that I'm just, keep adding to it. I think this is such a fun project to do every Christmas is to just take some of the winter kits. I provide plenty of them, and just choose which ones you want to use to add to your winter prayer journal. But I'm loving the way it turned out. I really had fun in my last Zoom with my patrons. If you are interested in my Patreon, you can just, click the link below. But this was really fun, and I'm thankful that you all were here to watch the replay and how everything turned out. I'm going to write my prayers and my sermon notes in here for the week, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. Stay blessed, stay safe, and warm.